Well, it's really good to see you all. I'm so happy you're all here. So now I'm just going to tell you a little bit about each book, read a couple paragraphs from them, and then we'll just get to the cake. This book is all about the elements of fiction. So I'm going to look at the table of contents here. The first chapter is freeing your imagination. Then there's chapters on creating characters, beginning, setting, the heart of a writer, writing dialogue, showing and telling, plotting and scheming, conflicts, middles and ends, polishing your writing, point of view. And then there's a section for question and answers, and then of course there is the interview section. I'm just going to read a little bit from here. First drafts. When you begin to write a new story, you've got nothing but fresh space on your page. What could be better than that? Ha! Writer Gene Fowler said, "Writing is easy. All you do is sit staring at a blank sheet of paper until the drops of blood form on your forehead." And he wasn't even writing horror. Before writing a novel myself, I had the idea that authors are effortlessly filled with perfect stories. I thought their words began flowing on page 1 and only stopped flowing when the story was finished. The truth? First drafts are terrible. At least mine are. And so are those of many other writers. Because of this, I dread starting a new book the way I dread living in the middle of an especially disturbing nightmare. Getting through that first draft feels very much like clawing my way through solid rock using only my fingernails. I've tried to find a way around writing first drafts, but so far it appears that the only way to get through them is to get through them. I've tried to jump from the first draft to the final draft, but that doesn't seem to work either. Once I have a handwritten first draft, I type it into the computer, then I print it out and mark it up all over again. It usually takes about 12 drafts before my books are close to readable. Not every writer does it this way. Writers are very individual in how they do things. Some like to type their first drafts, some like to write in the company of others, some talk into a tape recorder, some say 3 drafts and that's enough. Whatever works. I admit I've met a few authors who say they love writing first drafts. Such people do exist. If you are one of them and you thrill to the idea of a first draft, please ignore the preceding paragraph. But if you feel the weight of your unwritten story like a mountain of rock ready to crush you, a mountain where you're stuck until you dig your way out, I want you to know one thing: you're normal. Either way, it's time to seize your story. Time for cake and books.